What's up, everyone? It is officially Star Wars Celebration Week, and I'm probably going to have fewer videos going up than usual because the Toy Bro family will be in Orlando for Celebration. But I wanted to have at least one or two Star Wars videos go up this week, and we're going to start with a figure that I forgot I never even opened, and I've had him for months sitting in a pile of toys, Director Krennic. All right, now this is probably going to be a pretty quick review because there's not a great deal to talk about here. This is a pretty basic figure, and you're not going to be putting him in any kind of dynamic poses. He is more for, a stationary pose. Maybe have him surrounded by a squad of death troopers. That's probably how I'm going to end up displaying him now that I've finally opened him. But let's take a quick look at him, and right off the bat, I mean, I think he's a pretty decent figure. I don't really have any gripes about him overall. If the only real problem is that he's kind of plain, but what are you going to do? He is an Imperial officer. He's not Vader. He's not a trooper. He's a human in a Imperial outfit. So I think he looks good though, and I think the head sculpt actually looks pretty close to Ben Mendelsohn. It's not painted that great, and that's kind of the norm for Black Series human faces. But the sculpt is there, and I've seen some pretty good repaints of this guy. I've also seen some really good transformations by customizers into making him a Grand Admiral Thrawn. So he's a solid figure, but he's not going to blow your mind. He's still kind of hard to find, I believe. I've only ever seen him twice in the wild, but I've had this guy. I just bought a case, so I've had him for a while. So let's take a quick look at him. We'll go over the cape real quick so I can take it off. It is a formed piece of plastic. There are some sculpted lines on it and a patch over here and over here. I think that's what that is anyway. I'm not really sure. Could be something else. But it just sits on his neck, on his shoulders. And it does make him a little heavy on the back, but overall, it does its job. I'm glad it's not soft goods. I don't think it would have held well on him. As far as the figure itself, basic Black Series articulation, heads on a ball with a hinge. Arms can go out all the way. They go all around. Single jointed elbow. There's no bicep swivel. Hinge and a swivel at the wrist. He's got a little bit of play at the torso, but very little. He does have a twist. His legs go out about that far because of the shirt. It's going to block it. There is a thigh twist, double jointed knees, no boot cut, hinge, and a rocker at the ankle. So pretty standard stuff. He does come with one accessory. It's his gun, which is pretty unique. It's different. I believe in the canon, it's a customized, like, older revolver type of gun for the Star Wars universe. So it's a little different. It's got a unique sculpt to it. It's got some gray and brown plastic on there. He can hold it in either hand because he comes with two trigger fingers, which I find odd. But he can hold that just fine. Probably not going to though. And it fits in his holster. And I think I'm doing it right, but it's kind of weird how it sits. So it sits like that. But I'm probably going to display him, with his arms behind his back, maybe something like this. So he can stand kind of, like the pompous idiot that he is, thinking a bit too highly of himself as he does in both the books and the movie. But as far as the rest of the figure goes, pretty decent. We've got the kind of puffy pants. I don't know what you call these. Boots are sculpted nice. They've got some sculpt work on there, some kind of wrinkles in the leather. Belt's sculpted nicely, some paint on the buckle, and then he's got, I'm not really sure what these are, some sort of canisters on his belt. The Imperial shirt is nice. The insignia is pretty good. His rank there, it's sculpted well, and it has solid paint work on it. As far as the head goes, like I said, this sculpt looks pretty much like Ben Mendelsohn. It's not perfect, but it's never going to be on a Black Series figure. But overall, it's pretty decent. The eyes are painted cleanly, and they are not derpy. Eyebrows are good. Hair is sculpted pretty nicely. There doesn't really appear to be much of a wash in there, but the line work does come out pretty well. So he is pretty decent overall. Like I said, he's not going to blow your mind. I wouldn't expect him to, but he will look pretty decent on the shelf with some Death Troopers, or maybe have your 40th anniversary Vader standing next to him to kind of recreate that scene. So overall, pretty decent. Not the greatest, not the worst. He's kind of run of the mill for a Black Series figure, but he fills a good void in, kind of Imperial ranks that we don't really have yet. We need a Tarkin specifically, but I wouldn't mind some other high-ranking Imperial officers. But I think it's good that we got one, and it's a good start. So I'm overall pretty pleased with him. So that's going to do it for this review. As always, stay tuned for more. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time.